What's up, Rich Squad? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Road to 7K is in full effect, and I'll be doing a lot of World Cup prediction and reaction video. And make sure you go check out my other videos on the channel as well. And as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a prediction video for the second Group A match of the 2018 World Cup between Egypt and Uruguay. And if you've been wondering, I already did a prediction video for the opening match of the 2018 World Cup between the host Russia and Saudi Arabia, two teams who are also a part of Group A. My prediction for the opening match of the 2018 World Cup between Russia and Saudi Arabia, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win in favor of the host Russia. So Egypt versus Uruguay. So let's do a brief recap of the history of these two World Cup teams. For Egypt, who are also known as the Nubian Pharaohs, this is their third World Cup appearance. They made their first appearance in 1934 but was knocked out in the first match. Remember, that was a knockout World Cup. You lose, you go home. And it took them another 56 years before they could make their second World Cup appearance in 1990, where they made a group stage exit with 2 draws and 1 loss. For Uruguay, they are also known as La Celeste, and this will be their 13th World Cup appearance. They were the winners of the inaugural World Cup in 1930, and they also won the 1950 event, which was also their second World Cup participation. Wow, pretty impressive. Uruguay achieved 4th place in 1954, 1970, and 2010. Remember 2010, which was a very controversial World Cup for Uruguay? They got to the quarterfinals in 1966, the round of 16 in 1986, 1990, and 2014, and they made group stage exits in 1962, 1974, and 2002. Well, you might be asking yourselves, how did both Egypt and Uruguay qualify for the 2018 World Cup? Well, for Egypt, they topped Group E of the CAF 2018 World Cup qualifiers. And for Uruguay, they placed second in a very, very difficult CONMEBOL zone behind Brazil, but 3 points ahead of bitter neighbors Argentina. What are my 2018 World Cup predictions for each team? Like, how far do I think both Egypt and Uruguay will get? Well, I'm predicting Egypt to make a group stage exit, and for Uruguay, I'm expecting them to make another quarter-final run. Head to head, how many times have Egypt and Uruguay met each other in the past? Well, these two teams have met each other on one single occasion back in 2006 in an international friendly, where Uruguay won that match 2-0. Diego Godin, who scored a goal in that match, and Maxi Pereira are even part of Uruguay's 2018 World Cup squad. Sherif, Ekramy, and Ahmed Fathi also featured in that one match versus Uruguay. They are also part of Egypt's 23-man squad for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Pretty cool stuff, right? The head coaches. For Egypt, the head coach is Argentinian Hector Cooper. He was 2017 CAF Manager or Coach of the Year. Pretty dope stuff, right? South American, best coach in Africa. Wow. He has been the coach of Egypt since 2015. In 35 games as head coach of Egypt, Hector Cooper has 19 wins, 7 draws, and 9 losses. Pretty impressive stuff. Hector Cooper has a win percentage of 54%. For Uruguay, their head coach is Oscar Tabarez, the Uruguayan. He's 71 years old, and he's been the head coach since 2006. He won the 2011 Copa America with Uruguay. In his tenure as head coach of Uruguay, he has overseen 152 games, winning 94, drawing 48, and losing 50. That's a win percentage of 48%. As for form going into the World Cup, Egypt are winless in their last 5 matches with 3 losses and 2 draws. Pretty poor. For Uruguay, they fare much better with 3 wins, 1 draw, and a loss dating back to 2017 in their last 5 matches. Players to watch or players to keep an eye on. Well, for Egypt, you know everyone is going to keep an eye on Mo Salah. He is currently nursing a shoulder injury from the 2017-18 UEFA Champions League final. You know, everyone is blaming Sergio Ramos for that. So, Salah, I wish you a speedy recovery so you can feature at the 2018 World Cup for Egypt. Also, we got to keep an eye on Mohamed Elneny. He's the other high-profile player in the Egypt squad. He plays for Arsenal in the English Premier League. Another player to watch is also the big defender, Ahmed Hegazi. He had a really stellar season for the relegated West Bromwich Albion, but I expect him to be a rock in the defense for Egypt. Also keep an eye on forwards Trezeguet and Marwan Mohsen, who might fill in for the absent Mohamed Salah. For Uruguay, I'll be keeping a very close eye on Luis Suarez. I hope he doesn't do anything crazy for the 2018 World Cup, but we have to keep our fingers crossed for the Barcelona man, who is very potent up top. Also, we have to keep an eye on his striking buddy Edinson Cavani, who is so deadly for PSG and will need to replicate that form with his home country Uruguay. Also keep an eye on the big veteran defender Diego Godin and his partner from Atletico Madrid, Jose Maria Jimenez. These two guys are a rock in defense. Fun fact, guys, fun fact for you. Essam El-Hadary, the Egyptian goalkeeper, is currently 45 years old. And if he features for Egypt in the 2018 World Cup, he will now be the oldest player to appear at a FIFA World Cup, beating Farid Mandragon of Colombia's record. I think Mandragon was like 43 years old. He featured in the 2014 World Cup when Colombia had a golden run in that tournament. So all the best to Essam El-Hadary. I always have problems saying his name, Essam El-Hadary. And now for the part that you guys have all been waiting for, my final prediction, how the match between Egypt and Uruguay will end after 90 minutes. Well, with Mohamed Salah still nursing that shoulder injury and there are still doubts on whether he will participate in this first match versus Uruguay, Egypt are looking pretty thin on paper. But the other players in the Egyptian squad needs to pull their weight if Egypt is to achieve any kind of result from this match. But on paper, it looks like a mismatch. With the likes of Edinson Cavani up top, Luis Suarez, we have young starlet Rodrigo Bentancur in the middle, and the Atletico Madrid duo of Godin and Jimenez, who would be a stonewall in defense. It will be a very tall task for Egypt to squeeze any sort of positive result from their opening match of the 2018 World Cup. Sadly, I'm gonna go for Egypt 0, Uruguay 2 for my final prediction of this second match in Group A. Guys, this is only my prediction. The best team on the day is actually gonna win the match. So good luck to both teams. So guys, for question of the day, what controversial thing do you think Luis Suarez will do at the 2018 FIFA World Cup after handballing in 2010 and biting Chiellini in 2014? What will Luis Suarez be up to in the 2018 World Cup? But guys, man, thank you for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button. There's a lot more awesome content on the way. Smash the thumbs up button, guys. Share the video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So until next time, I like to say peace out. Rich Squad!